My friends, I need you to stop what you're doing right now because what I'm about to share with you could mean the difference between knowing exactly when your money arrives this month and sitting by your mailbox wondering where your check is. March is here, and I'm seeing so many of you in the comments asking the same worried questions. When is my Social Security payment coming? Why did my neighbor get theirs already? Am I getting the full amount I'm supposed to receive? And the most important question of all, how much should I actually expect to see in my bank account this month? Listen, I've been doing this for years, helping folks just like you understand these government payment schedules. And I can tell you right now that March has some specific dates you absolutely need to know. Whether you're receiving around $2,000, $3,400, or even over $4,000 in monthly benefits, your payment date depends on several factors that the Social Security Administration doesn't always explain clearly. But here's the thing, and I want you to hear me on this. Once you understand this deposit map I'm going to walk you through today, you'll never be confused again. You'll know exactly when to expect your money, down to the very day. Now, before we dive into those exact payment dates, let me take just a moment to explain why your check amount might be $2,000 while your friend down the street is getting $4,000. This isn't about favorites or luck. It comes down to your work history, when you started claiming benefits, and what type of benefit you're actually receiving. You see, the Social Security Administration calculates your monthly payment based on your highest 35 years of earnings. If you waited until full retirement age or even delayed until age 70, you're looking at significantly higher payments than someone who claimed early at 62. That's why some of you are seeing those $4,000 deposits while others are receiving closer to $2,000. Neither amount is wrong, it's just based on your personal situation and the choices you made along the way. Let me break down what we're seeing for March payments specifically. The standard Social Security retirement benefit for someone who retired at full retirement age is averaging around $1,900 to $2,100 right now, after the cost of living adjustment we received in January. But here's where it gets interesting. If you're married and both you and your spouse worked and earned benefits, your household could be bringing in anywhere from $3,400 to over $5,000 combined. And for those of you who maxed out your earnings over your career and delayed claiming until 70, you could be looking at individual payments approaching $4,800. That's the beauty of understanding how this system works, because when you know the rules, you can make smarter decisions about your retirement. Now let's talk about those exact payment dates for March, because this is what you really came here to find out. The Social Security Administration follows a very specific schedule every single month, and once you understand the pattern, you'll be able to predict your payment date for the rest of the year. Here's how it works, and I want you to pay close attention because this is crucial. If you started receiving Social Security benefits before May of 1997, or if you're receiving both Social Security and SSI together, your payment comes on the 3rd of every month. That means for March, if you fall into this category, your money should have hit your account on March 3rd. Some of you already got it, and you're probably nodding your head right now. But for everyone else, and this is the majority of Social Security recipients, your payment date is based on your birthday. Yes, you heard that right. Your birth date determines when you get paid each month. If you were born between the 1st and the 10th of any month, your Social Security payment arrives on the 2nd Wednesday of the month. For March, that's Wednesday the 12th. If your birthday falls between the 11th and the 20th, you'll receive your payment on the 3rd Wednesday, which this month is March 19th. And if you were born between the 21st and the 31st, your payment comes on the 4th Wednesday of the month. And for March, that's the 26th. Now, I know some of you are thinking, why does the government make this so complicated? Well, the truth is, they're actually trying to spread out the payments so their system doesn't crash from processing millions of deposits all on the same day. When you think about it, that actually makes sense, even though it can feel confusing when you're trying to budget and plan your month. Let me talk specifically about SSI payments now, because those of you receiving supplemental security income have a different schedule altogether. SSI payments always come on the first of the month, period. That's the rule. So for March, your SSI payment should have arrived on March 1st. But here's something that catches people off guard every single time. When the first of the month falls on a weekend or federal holiday, the Social Security Administration pays you early on the last business day before that. This means sometimes you'll get your payment a day or two earlier than expected, and that's actually a good thing, not a mistake. Don't panic if you see money in your account earlier than you anticipated. It's supposed to be there. For those of you receiving SSDI, which is Social Security Disability Insurance, you follow the same schedule as regular Social Security retirement benefits. Your payment date is determined by your birth date using that same Wednesday schedule I just explained. I get so many questions from folks on disability thinking they have a separate schedule, but you don't. You're on the exact same calendar as everyone else receiving Social Security, whether it's retirement or disability. Now, here's something really important that I need you to understand about those payment amounts I mentioned at the beginning. When I say $2,100, $3,400, or $4,000, I'm talking about the gross amount before any deductions come out. And yes, my friends, there can be deductions that reduce what actually hits your bank account. Let me explain what might be coming out of your check without you even realizing it. First, if you're enrolled in Medicare Part B, your premium is automatically deducted from your Social Security payment. For 2025, the standard Part B premium is $175 per month. That alone can make a significant dent in what you're expecting to receive. If you're also paying for Part D prescription drug coverage or a Medicare Advantage plan premium, those can be deducted as well. Some of you might also have federal taxes withheld from your Social Security check if you elected to do that. This is voluntary, but if you're having taxes taken out, it's usually 7, 10, 12, or 22% of your benefit amount. That could be several $100s depending on your monthly payment. Others might have garnishments for unpaid federal debts, child support, or alimony. The government can take a portion of your Social Security for these obligations, and it happens automatically without much warning. Here's a situation I see causing confusion all the time. Let's say you're expecting $2,100 based on what your award letter told you, but you're only seeing $1,800 or $1,900 actually deposited. You start panicking, thinking the government shorted you. But when you look closer, you realize that $175 went to Medicare Part B, maybe another $50 to a Part D plan, and suddenly that $2,100 makes sense as $1,875 in your account. This is why I always tell people to understand your net payment, not just your gross benefit amount. Now let's talk about something that can actually increase what you receive, and this is good news for many of you. If you're a veteran receiving VA benefits in addition to Social Security, you're in for some extra money that a lot of people don't even know about. VA disability compensation is completely separate from Social Security, and you can receive both simultaneously without any offset in most cases. For March, veterans with a 100% disability rating are looking at VA payments around $3,700 per month. When you combine that with Social Security retirement of, say, $2,200, you're talking about nearly $6,000 monthly. That's a significant income, and it's all legitimate and legal. The VA and Social Security systems don't communicate in a way that reduces one because you're getting the other. But here's where some of you need to be careful. If you're receiving SSI, which is needs-based, and you start getting VA benefits, or your VA benefits increase, that can affect your SSI payment because SSI has strict income limits. The Social Security Administration counts most other income when determining your SSI eligibility and payment amount. So while your VA compensation won't affect regular Social Security or SSDI, it absolutely can reduce or even eliminate SSI benefits. This is something you need to report to Social Security within 10 days of any change, or you could end up with an overpayment that you'll have to pay back later. Speaking of overpayments, this is something I want to address because it's causing real hardship for thousands of seniors right now. The Social Security Administration has been sending out overpayment notices claiming that people were paid too much, sometimes years ago, and now they want that money back. We're talking about notices demanding $10,000, $20,000, even $50,000 or more. My friends, if you get one of these notices, do not ignore it, but also do not panic. You have rights and you have options. You can appeal the overpayment determination if you believe it's wrong. You can request a waiver if you can't afford to pay it back. And you can negotiate a payment plan if you do owe something but can't pay it all at once. The worst thing you can do is nothing, because if you ignore it, Social Security can start taking up to 10% of your monthly benefit until the debt is paid. Let me give you a real example of how this works. Let's say you're receiving $2,000 per month in Social Security. You get a notice saying you were overpaid $12,000 3 years ago because of some reporting error. If you don't respond, Social Security can start withholding $200 from every monthly check. That drops you from $2,000 to $1,800 overnight, and that can devastate your budget. But if you file for a waiver and demonstrate that repaying this money would cause you financial hardship, there's a good chance they'll forgive the entire debt. I've seen it happen for people who took action and explained their situation. Now let's talk about maximizing your benefits, because even if you're already receiving Social Security, there might be money you're leaving on the table. If you're married and your spouse worked, you might be eligible for spousal benefits that give you up to 50% of your spouse's benefit amount if that's higher than your own. If you're widowed, you could be eligible for survivor benefits that might be higher than what you're currently receiving. And if you're divorced but were married for at least 10 years, you might qualify for benefits based on your ex-spouse's work record without affecting their benefits at all. These rules are complicated, but they can mean hundreds of extra dollars every month if you qualify. For those of you still working while receiving Social Security before reaching full retirement age, you need to know about the earnings limit. For 2025, if you're under full retirement age, you can earn up to $23,040 without any reduction in benefits. But for every $2 you earn above that, Social Security withholds $1 of benefits. This isn't a permanent loss, though. When you reach full retirement age, they recalculate your benefit and give you credit for those withheld months. Still, it can create a cash flow problem if you're not expecting it. Here's my final piece of advice for all of you trying to navigate these March payments and beyond. Set up a My Social Security account at ssa.gov if you haven't already. This free online account shows you your payment history, your benefit verification letter, your tax documents, and lets you update your direct deposit information. You can see exactly when your next payment is scheduled and verify the amount before it arrives. This gives you peace of mind and helps you catch any errors quickly. If you're not comfortable doing it yourself, ask a trusted family member to help you set it up. It takes about 15 minutes and can save you hours on the phone with Social Security trying to get basic information. So to wrap this all up for you, March payments for Social Security are coming on March 3rd for those who started before 1997 or receive both Social Security and SSI, March 12th for birthdays 1 through 10, March 19th for birthdays 11 through 20, and March 26th for birthdays 21 through 31. Your payment amount depends on your earnings history, when you claimed, and what deductions come out. Understand what you're actually getting in the bank versus what your gross benefit is. Take advantage of every benefit you're entitled to, including spousal, survivor, and VA benefits if applicable. And if you get an overpayment notice, don't ignore it, but know that you have options. My friends, I hope this deposit map helps you plan your March and gives you confidence in knowing exactly when your money is coming and why. Stay informed, stay empowered, and I'll see you in the next update.